We have Danielle Campbell is running a little behind because so many people wanted photographs of her. So we're gonna get started and just like roast her for a while until she gets here. But I'm gonna bring up everybody else for this originals panel. My first originals panel of the weekend, so be nice to me. Mostly they should be nice to me. We have Chase Coleman. We have Rebecca Breeds. We have Oliver Ackland. We have Riley. Riley Voelkel. And Stephen Krueger. Yes, we're missing Danielle.
Hello. What's up?
Hi. Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
What a glorious crowd.
So I'm very excited to introduce some of these people. All of these people, but some of them in particular. Just to really like give them a hard time. Danielle's gonna join us as soon as she can. My first question is for Riley. And I got it from somebody on Twitter.
Oh God.
Melissa on Twitter would like to know if your character Freya had a theme song, what song do you think it would be? I saw this and I thought, that's a Riley question.
That's a great question. And
Are you Melissa?
There's Melissa.
Oh, welcome Melissa.
I should have just handed you the microphone.
Great
Thank you for doing my job for me.
And the song that comes to mind, this might not be the perfect if I really had time to think about it, but it's also what I would consider the song that I would want to play if I walked in anywhere. You know how you guys all have, like, think about when you walk into a bar. Entrance song. An entrance song. And I think it would have to be Edge of 17.
Yes.
Just picture it. Picture it. Right? Walking anywhere you want.
Can you
I
sing
think you
it?
should sing some for us. Yes, you should.
Maybe
beatbox
Chase
it.
should sing it.
Let's save everyone's ears. Meaning me.
I thought you were going to say Black Magic Woman, but that's a really good one.
Thought it was going to be Call Me Maybe or something.
Trying to remember.
Chase, similar question for you, because you're a musician. Are any of the rest of you guys musicians, or just Chase?
I'm a wannabe.
I know, me too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Daisy Jones in my heart.
Yeah, I like play guitar a little bit. I know like chords, but I would never be able to play in front of a crowd. I would die.
I've tried to get you to sing before.
You have. You tried. And I mean, maybe one day with enough tequila. You never know.
Chase, what about you? If you had to choose a theme song for Oliver down the bayou?
Probably like Whitesnake, Here I Go Again.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, that's such
Seems
a good
appropriate. I don't know, it
answer.
seems appropriate, you know?
Oh man, that brings back
He was
that.
going, you know, he was going to do his own thing, right? He's like, no, screw this.
Here I go
Take this.
again.
I don't know if you remember this, but the first day that I was on set with you in season 2 was we were shooting your death scene, and we like rolled your body out, and we like pushed your body out into the ocean.
Yeah.
Nathan, and
You were there, pushing, hauling it. Yeah.
off he goes.
Hoist.
And then we all went to karaoke that night.
Yeah.
We had like a really good time,
Oh my gosh. No, we had a lot of great times.
and sent
wasn't-
you off into the world.
Died twice that
No, it wasn't. It was right. I don't know. I'm not going to give free press to whatever karaoke bar we were at.
You don't have to say which one it was, yeah.
Yeah. Krueger, this is also from Twitter, from Sarah in Chattanooga. And I promise that Sarah in Chattanooga is not a alias for me. The question is, what's it like doing multiple shows where your character could die at any time?
I don't know. I get the runs a lot. I'm just like, unfortunately, worried about not having a job any given week. But no, it's also like a little bit exhilarating because you're playing one of those characters that people kind of latch onto and root for, and I don't know, it's fun. Everybody's like, don't kill Josh, don't kill Ben, let's, maybe next time though, I don't know, I think on my next show I want to be like one of the invincible people. Let's do a little like Klaus Elijah, like give me something with some job security.
Just just flash back to your future of you at 80 years old, just like one time.
Yeah.
Flash forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let everybody know that I'm alive and well into my 80s. I like that.
Yeah. I second that.
I like that too. Rebecca, I just did a panel with your lovely husband. And this was a question from Catherine on Twitter that I asked him too. Her question was, what are the best things about getting to work with your spouse? But I would like to add, also, what are the worst things?
Yeah, really good questions. Best thing, honestly, this is going to sound so lame, but I'm a big cuddler, and he's so big that if you ever it's kind of like home base or like plugging in your phone. You just kind of tuck in for like 30 seconds, and then it's like you're recharged and you can pop back out and like be in the world again. So it's nice to get...
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Cutest, and I didn't mean to be cute. It's just the honest answer. It's just true. So that's nice. The worst thing. There is no bad thing. There's nothing bad.
I don't think he's here. I think you can be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
He's way back.
No, actually, nothing comes to mind. I don't know. I don't know. No, actually, if we weren't working together, I was in a like serious Love Is Blind like obsession at the time. Is anyone here watch Love Is Blind?
Danielle, Rose, Russell, and I are going to chat about it later. We'll meet up.
Yeah,
We'll chat.
I told her to watch it.
Yeah.
I put Danielle on to Flaming Love Is Blind because I was so obsessed at the time. And when our schedules weren't the same, I had to wait for him to watch the next episode.
Love.
Yeah. So
Everybody welcome
that was-
Danielle Campbell to the stage.
I like to make a dramatic entrance, apparently. So,
Well, first I have a question for Oliver, and then we'll let you talk.
Okay.
You have to wait now.
You
Wait your
can
turn.
go. You can go.
No, I was wondering, okay, so you guys came in with Andy Lee's in this sort of like trio of menaces. And I think I remember your first day on set. Was it the first thing we did, the
The
fencing?
sword fight. We did like
Yeah.
a sword fight. And I think I kept messing it up. And she was getting frustrated with me. She was like, we rehearsed this so many times. What are you doing? And then seeing the episode, it was just like they just chopped it all. It was
That was that
2 seconds of sword fighting.
a lot.
That was my
Because she
fault.
kept stuffing it up. They had to cut it out.
My bad.
No, I'm joking.
We should have
My
just
bad.
put those fencing things on your faces so that like we could have someone else handle it. But like you go
Picking
from
up the
fencing,
hint.
you like I feel like we had so many ideas for Tristan and Aurora and all these crazy things. What was that experience like coming in as one of three? Knowing, I mean, I don't know if you knew, but like the plan was kind of like knock you guys out one by one. Was there any competition?
There's no competition. I just remember like it seemed really quick. I remember there were like I got there and then it was like the day after I had like 5 pages of monologue or something. So I just remember like locking myself in a hotel room and just learning 5 pages of insane dialogue and then shooting it the next day.
Yeah.
But no, there wasn't competition there. I don't think there was any competition. We didn't know that. We just thought
didn't know.
we thought we were on it for 4 years. So oops. Yeah, thanks for that.
I think that's camaraderie.
Poor
like-
Tristan is still down there in that box. There's a spin-off. There's a get Tristan out of the ocean spin-off somewhere happening.
Where do we sign?
Danielle Campbell. This question also came from Twitter, but I thought I would, and whoever asked it, which was Mark on Twitter. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
He said I could shoot this question anyway, but I thought it was a good one, especially for you, because the question is, what is something that you have learned after the show ended that you wish you had known while you were filming? And I know that you've done so much schoolwork since the show. You've done so much you've grown so much. I just got to watch a little bit of Danielle's acting recently and like called her on my drive home and was just blowing smoke up her ass the whole time, just like obsessed with her. But so what do you think you would take back to little Danielle? Little like missing her prom to shoot the pilot Danielle at the beginning.
I love this question. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that I would take back are just presence, like to be present in the moment. And I was talking about this so much today, but just this cast and the group of people and all of you guys, like this has been one of the most surreal experiences that I don't think can be repeated. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And like the one thing I wish I was able to not need to look in the future that much more. Like I wish I could just ground myself more into the present, because this has been so special, and I'm gonna cry. I'm so grateful for you guys, so thank you.
Well, we can't.
She was late, and then she just wins everyone over.
Wow. She is perfect.
I know,
You
it's
late
gross.
now?
I saw her rehearsing that in the bathroom earlier.
Shut up, Josh.
Bunch of bullshit.
What about
It
the
has
rest
it
of
written
you?
on her arm.
What about the rest of you? It's been, well, so this summer is going to be like the 10-year anniversary of the beginning of the originals.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
What about the rest of you? If there's something you could go back and tell the person you were however many number of years ago, whether it's about the work or about acting or about like a certain ex that you would avoid.
We don't have time for that. It would take me all day.
What would your time machine, what would you do?
Are you asking all of us?
Asking all of you, yeah.
Oh.
If we could go back, what would we do differently?
What have you learned?
I'm gonna-
What have you learned since then that you wish you knew that?
Oh, I mean,
That we were getting killed off, like one by one, or we were getting knocked off. That would have been.
How to
yeah.
preserve your life.
Exactly how many?
Danielle
how
hit it
long
on the
should I
head for
rent
me.
that apartment for?
Being present, that really resonates with me. I'm going to steal that. I think being present back then, I was in my 20s, late 20s into my 30s. I think I turned 30 maybe when I was on the show, possibly. I think I was on the show when I turned 30. So I don't know, big milestone for life, but yeah, probably being way more present, yeah.
and also I feel like one of my biggest things is just maybe unapologetically being yourself. And not to a point where if you're an asshole, like you should change, but I was kind of thrown into the acting world. I wasn't an actor growing up, and so for me it was all very new and interesting. And I tried to always be myself, but I also I don't think I was always confident in who that was, and I've grown a lot since then. And if I could go back, I would tell myself that to just be who you are, and some people will like you, most people will despise you, and that's okay.
Listen, whoever you were, I liked who you were pretending to be.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I was. I will say I tried to be myself the best, but I think I wasn't confident in it. I wouldn't
We're all
necessarily go
young.
home being confident in the fact of who I was, and now I feel like I'm getting a lot closer to that, and it's a lot better. Yeah.
Love that answer, Adly.
Thanks, Danielle. I mean,
We're
you're
all
this
babies.
perfection.
I'm going to let you guys ask some questions. So if you can put your hand up if you want, if you've got any. We've got people running around with mics. But right here down in front, we've got one. They're vetting the questions first. I like it. I can keep asking questions.
For Riley and Steven, what was it like representing queer couples on the show?
Amazing. One of my proudest moments. One of my favorite things I got to do. I loved the dynamic between Freya and Keelan. I think it was a really good storyline. And I loved representing love is love. It was important to me and exciting. So
That Freya and Keelan's first kiss in the rain was one of the most epic days of filming. It was so fun.
and Charles was directing that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great day. It was a great day.
I think that, particularly on this show, and I guess we're seeing it more often now on shows across the board, but I do remember this one standing out because I think maybe 10 years ago, we got so used to seeing queer characters just kind of thrown in as a token. We have to have a queer character in the show, let's put them in. But they never really explored that side of the character, and they made the character entirely about their sexuality. Whereas I think with both of ours, it was they're three-dimensional characters, they're three-dimensional people, and we explored so many different aspects of their lives and their personalities. And their sexuality just happened to be one part of that, and I think that we both got to explore that at different times throughout the seasons. But I felt really good about playing a very well-rounded three-dimensional character who just also happened to be gay, which that's very refreshing.
Great answer. Totally agree.
I see a question all the way in the back.
Hi, so this is for Rebecca and Stephen and Riley. What was it like for you guys to play characters that you were just mentioning this aren't usually well represented between mental illness and LGBTQ? Do a lot of people come up to you and talk to you about that? Or, what was it like playing that representation?
Yeah. I mean, I've had countless people talk to me about it, and that's been probably the best part of our job at the end of the day. Like, I know it sounds kind of cheesy or whatnot, but if you can even have one person relate to what you do, I mean, I feel like that's why we all kind of got into it, because we related to people we watched on screen, and it's just kind of the importance of it all. Like, that brings us all together, and represents things that, everyone's going through. You just don't feel alone when you have that. And so having people express that to you, that really meant something to them, just adds a whole new weight to the character that you already love to play. And it's just really special and humbling and very, very cool.
I think it's ironic that we're all here in this setting, because I don't think it was until we started to do events like this, conventions like this with all of you, that, random fans at these things would come up and say, thank you so much. Like, I identified so much with your character and the own experiences that I've had in my life. And I mean, for me, sometimes I forgot as I was playing this character and just kind of doing my job, that this actually does impact people in a very real way. And I don't think that I necessarily realized that until I had the opportunity to interact with so many of you. So yeah, it's kind of nice that we actually get to do this and be reminded that this is like a thing that actually affects people.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Callie, what's up? Hey. Yeah, I think it's really important to bring awareness, and I think Aurora struggling with her bipolar disorder, it was I was learning about it as I was doing the character, and it was an amazing insight. And I love what we do because it's about empathy. You walk in someone else's shoes, or you see it from another person's perspective, and you understand them more, and you take that into your life. And I think everyone having the ability to have empathy is so powerful and so important. So even, and I think that's something beautiful they did with Aurora. Yes, she was a villain, but she was also a human that was going through a lot and was also struggling with mental health. And so if you couldn't also, I think that's what made her so powerful as a character, and why people responded to her so much, because yes, she was a villain, she was maniacal, but at the same time she was so human and so beautiful and so complex, and we got to see what she was dealing with on the other side of things, that made you couldn't hate her. Like, she was still so lovable and kind of cutesy at times and sweet, and then would be such a badass the next moment. So, and I also think that something that people go, oh, it's her bipolar disorder. At times it was her bipolar superpower. Like, it was actually something that she harnessed and made really powerful for her life. And I thought that was a really great avenue, a great element to see her to see her be able to flesh out as well. How it's not just a disorder; it's something really beautiful if once it's understood and harnessed properly.
What was it like when you got the call to come back to Legacies? Were you like, I mean, you must have thought it was over, right?
Yeah, I guess I know when I left Originals, it was never
finished.
Just
sleeping, yeah.
It wasn't finished. I left very suddenly. I had another job that I had to go and do, and so Aurora always felt unfinished to me, and that was always exciting though, because I was always hoping that call would come, because I got to say, hands down, until this day, she's my favorite character I've ever played. I love her. I had the most fun as her. She lights me up, and being able to go back and play your favorite character again is just awesome. So when I got the call, and I had a bit more input on this one, and we were fleshing out the character together and where she was going to go and how she was going to be for her stint on Legacies, and I was just so pumped, and it was everything I wanted it to be. She was fun and human and beautiful and crazy and all the things I just loved. She's such a roller coaster, and I love being on that ride, and I hope you all did too. But yeah, she was awesome.
Okay, where are you? Hi.
Okay, hello guys, greetings from Germany first of all. My question is to Riley. Who's your favorite and also Freya's favorite Michelson sibling?
Well, you guys all know who my least favorite is. Who is it? Come on, Gillies, obviously, in person and the character. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's one of my faves. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. Okay, so you said as Riley and as Freya, who's my favorite sibling? Rebecca and Claire Holt. Both answers. Yeah, very easy.
This is for anyone. If you had to play another character, who would you play?
Come on, spit it out. I know you guys got them.
Elijah.
Aurora.
I'd be Klaus. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I kind of want to be Klaus too.
Say Klaus too.
Yeah.
Thinking the same thing. Why?
Yeah.
All right, I'll say Marcel
secretly wanna
just so
be
that
Klaus.
Charles
Oh yeah,
is left
Marcel.
out. Charles is gonna.
Or can we
he's
be
gonna
Charles
freak out.
Michael Davis?
Oh yeah, I would just be Charles Michael Davis.
Because that would be, I'd for sure do that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That's a good life. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Alize, and my question to you guys is if there's anything you guys would have wanted to explore with your characters.
I have one. I'm still bitter about it. I was supposed to be turned into a vampire. Yeah, ask Carina. Yeah. It's true. The rumors are true. I was supposed to be turned into a vampire, and I think it would
We
have
had a lot of things to do.
Excuses is what they gave me. No, I honestly, it was right for Freya to stay a witch, and I loved being a witch, and I think that was right. But I was curious what Freya would be like as a vampire. But they changed Cammy into a vampire instead.
Sorry.
So like,
Isn't that my bad?
Bitter. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think it would have been cool to see what that would have looked like. But it wasn't the right thing.
what about you, Danielle?
I always got curious about Davina's backstory, and I think it would have been really cool to, like, because of New Orleans and where it took place, there's such mystery and history there. Like, I think that would have been a really interesting place to kind of fill in some dots for, I don't know, I think that there's so much that I was so curious about, so that would have been a cool thing.
We never like
Explore.
went into who her real parents were or anything.
Yeah, I always
It was a
wondered
real
about-
stone left unturned. If I could go back in time and tell myself something.
There's options there.
Anyone else?
No.
Krueger,
Yeah.
anything you didn't get to explore?
I was meaning to tell you, I actually have a new pilot I was going to give you. It's about the wolves. No. It's your next spinoff.
Listen, I already said it.
It's called Blood Moon.
They asked him in the last thing, what would you call a spin-off? And I said, The Crescents.
Nice.
I got a plan. If anybody's got the money, I got a plan.
Yeah. No, I was going to say I would love to have been able to do more like actual transformation cool stuff, I did a couple of times, but I really wanted to break down and I want to do all that. That would have been fun.
Those nights, we did a bunch of late nights shooting with Nathan, some Jackson turning, and it was the worst experience because it was so muggy and disgusting. It was the worst night. Bugs everywhere, and I just those things you're shooting pieces, tiny little pieces, and it just takes so long. And so yeah.
So happy we didn't do that.
It's not that bad. Okay. Any other question? Wait, I want to hear Krueger's though. What Krueger? Is there anything that with Josh you didn't get to explore that you wish you had?
Yeah, I wish I would have drank that potion that made Charles invincible.
Yeah.
He didn't. He was pretty selfish with that. He just slugged it back himself. It's no soup for
Didn't
you.
even offer you a sip.
I know, one little sip, and I would have been right there with him with the red eyes and unable to be killed. Dick.
Hi, I'm Callie, and my question is for the whole cast, but I just want to tell Danielle that you're so pretty.
Aww.
Who is your favorite originals couple?
Where are you?
She's right there.
Hi, okay. Sorry, sweetie, what was your question?
Who is your favorite couple through the whole series?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, couple.
Mine was Josh and Aiden. I'll say it first.
That took the words out of my mouth. I love Josh and Aiden. I think they were fantastic.
Whatever happened to that Colin Waddell guy? Is he somewhere out there?
Yeah, what did ever happen to Colin Waddell?
Yeah, I don't
I don't know. Nobody ever sees that guy.
I hope someone gives him a job. Colin is doing great, everyone.
Aiden's just fine.
What? Come on, guys. Favorite couples. Let's hear the favorite couples. Answer the question.
I actually
Klaus and Haley.
I was gonna say Haley and Elijah. I actually really loved. Yeah, they had moments that I just like. I don't know. I liked it. I'm here for it.
What were the other couples?
Marcel and Rebecca, Klaus and Cammie, Klaus and Aurora,
Cole and Davina.
Cole and Davina, and you got two. You got Cole original sauce, and you got Cole extra spicy.
Davina got 2 bags of 1. That's so impressive.
Yeah. Okay, these guys don't want to make choices, so we're gonna go to the next question.
Oh, sorry. Hi, my name is Madeline. It's really nice to see you all in real life, finally. And my question is, I mean, we've all seen the end of the originals, and would you have done something different? Like, because like I still haven't gotten over, the ending, like, boom, and yeah. Just if you like, what are your thoughts about that?
We get asked this a lot, and I feel like you guys are not exactly happy with how it ended. But here's my defense for everyone with the way it ended. I think, and I know from experience, we all know that Joseph and Gillies and Klaus and Elijah had been characters for a long time. They loved these characters, but they were also, I think, ready to put them to rest together. And so it was kind of important to them, I think, to do that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'll say, from the very beginning of, literally day 1 of season 1 in the writer's room, the decision was made that Klaus was going to die for his daughter by the end of this show. And that felt like, knowing that was where we were going to end him, we understood how to build backwards from that, and we started to decide how to begin him. What we decided later was that Elijah was going to die too. And I feel okay saying that, I think that in different circumstances, he probably might have stayed alive and been like, I'm going to take care of your daughter. And he had devoted his whole life to Klaus's redemption, and he could devote another 1,000 years to Hope's protection. But there's the fictional world that you're working in, and then there's the real world that you're working in. And we had this incredible opportunity as writers to keep our crew of 300 people who we loved working on a new show with Danielle Rose Russell at the center of it. And the show wouldn't have worked if Uncle Elijah was going to swoop in and save her all the time. And we also knew that Gillies was ready to not do that. And we couldn't imagine a version of the show where she was in danger all the time and he didn't show up. So it was kind of this decision that was made with Gillies, with our crew in mind, and also with the right thing for the character in mind, because having him make a promise to his brother and then not show up also felt like kind of shitting on this character that had been around for 2 shows. So I will say, I don't love the way he went out. I talked to my meet and greet this morning about how I would have done it. But I do think that the 2 of them at the end of the road together was always how it was going to go. Especially, and I'm very proud of the fact that our show spawned a spin-off that kept our family employed for another 4 years. Yeah, I see you in the middle.
My question's for Rebecca, and I want to know what her favorite episode was.
What, between originals or legacies? Originals. We were just talking about it this morning. I think my favorite episode, there's two. There's my first episode where I like samurai a bunch of monks, which is a bit naughty. But yeah, our favorite one was we're at a banquet table. She's very naughty, but what an entrance, like so amazing. And then she launches off like into the, like off the side of the cliff and just disappears into her new existence. But my favorite shooting the episode, we did this one around a banquet table with the Michelsons, and you, me, and Andy Lucian.
Yeah, I was on 2 hours sleep.
You hadn't slept. We were delirious, and we were sitting around this table. We had 337,000 words to say in this one day, and we all just got the sillies. We all went completely nuts, delusional, and so we're sitting around this table just laughing, and then they'd be like, okay, you need to control yourselves so that we can call action and actually shoot these freaking scenes, which are hilarious. And then like the delirium set in, and I started, which is great for Aurora, so I could be like kind of silly and crabs and talking about fish and Rebecca at the bottom of the ocean, it doesn't matter, like whatever, she's fine, she's with the crabs and the fish, and like it just was this silly, amazing, silly day, but it was full of so much like you're so serious and you're posturing and your life is at risk, but also we just laughed all day. So I think that was my favorite episode for multiple reasons. Good question.
Hi, my name is Bridget. I had a question for Riley and Danielle because I love the witches. I think they're strong, powerful. You guys did so great. The chants and the spells, was it extremely hard to learn? Because when I try to like say it, I can't say it the second time exactly the same. So
they didn't have to say it the second time exactly the same.
So Davina, I had a hard time when Daniel Sharman was Cole, because Daniel Sharman liked to learn his own versions of spells, which was not learning them, but just whenever in the moment, and then like, so the spells became not spells, but were also spells.
But they were supposed to say them. They were supposed to say them simultaneously, like holding hands, the same thing in unison. And Daniel was like, "I memorized a Led Zeppelin song. Here we go."
So we'd show up, and I'm like trying to speak gibberish Latin because we're like making the different wording so that it's not completely translatable, but it's like our own version of it. And then Daniel's doing whatever he's doing, and I'm like, well, I've got to try and match now what he's doing because he's on his own planet. So we're like making up our words. So that kind of took its own path. And then when Nate comes and he's Cole, he's got it down to a science, and I'm like, okay.
And you're in like a bad habit now. You're like, I memorized the Led Zeppelin song.
Well, so I had quite a journey. It was a lot of fun. But yes, it was very difficult.
To go off of that, that was the hardest thing to memorize. With the lines, I could always memorize fairly easily, and the chants were difficult. And so I'd be like saying them over and over in like hotel rooms and planes, and people definitely thought I was crazy. But then one time, to go off of what you said, I had heard, that if you can't remember them, like you can kind of just improv, because that's what Charmin does. And so one time I tried to do that, and it was this big chant scene, like it was loud and there was wind, and I had to like scream out the chant, and I was
These
having
are long chants too.
Long
so
chants.
It's like you're trying to get it. Yeah.
They're hard, and I was struggling with the one, and I was like, I'll just say something. This is true. I screamed out Al Pacino, and I don't know why. And I never again improv'd. I made sure I had those lines down. I was like, clearly, I'm not good at this. And then Carina, I actually want to ask you if this, because I say this at conventions a lot, this rumor that I heard, and I want to know if it's true. There's a rumor that production was called by
the real
witches of New Orleans saying you're playing with fire and you got to change up your chants to. It's true?
So in season 1, when I was the writer's assistant, I wrote the chants, and I would go online and like look up spells. It was like, why not? And then I'd like change a couple words. I'd go and I'd like figure out a spell. Then I'd like go and change a couple words to French and a couple words to like Creole, a couple words to like Haitian Creole. You can do Google
Get
Translate.
why it was difficult.
You can do Google Translate to Haitian Creole. And then I'd like throw some Latin in. And I was just like making some spells. And then we got a call from a woman in New Orleans who was like, I think that you're playing with fire. I think that you're, what are you trying to do? You're putting these spells in everybody's living room all across America. Like we were like cursing everybody to watch the show. And then I started making shit up a little weirder.
I'm so glad that this rumor is true. Now I can say for sure it's true. Wow.
Yeah, sorry about that. If anybody got hexed.
Yeah. Things haven't been going well since you started the original.
I was just an assistant. I didn't know. Hi.
Hi, my question is for everyone. What team are they? Team Damon or Team Stefan?
It's okay to love them both.
I'm Team Paul Wesley. I said I'm Team Paul Wesley.
I'm Team Stefan because it sounds like Steven, so.
I'm Team Damon all the way.
Yeah, I just prefer the name Stefan, so Team Stefan.
Stefan.
I guess Paul paid us all $20. Okay.
Hi, my name is MacKenzie. This question
So is mine.
Yeah. If you could take one supernatural trait from the show or one spell if you were a witch and bring it to your real life, what would it be?
Ooh.
Breaknecks.
Damn.
Sorry, it's the first thing that came to mind.
Me too.
I'd really, just.
You don't have a superpower to do that, right? You know you can just break necks.
But I want to do it like from afar, like if I
With your mind?
How much effort?
Like, I don't know.
Like with
Honestly, there's like, it's almost like I want someone else to have the immortality thing, so I can break their neck, but they won't come back later, but not for a while.
But if we're arguing, you could just,
I would like to be able to have my neck broken and be able to survive it, like my character could.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We could live in this.
What did we call the speed walking thing?
Vamping.
Vamping. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Was that why was that called vamping? Was that always was that an official term?
Yeah. It was just because we needed something to yell out. So we would hold pause on set, and then everyone would freeze except for the person vamping, and then they would vamp. We'd speed up that piece. It was.
I remember nobody explaining that to me. I never
got an explanation
and I was like,
either.
I kind of figured it out. Oh, I know what's going on here. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
It was also so embarrassing
fast
anytime
move.
that you had to do it. It was like literally everyone freeze, but then you'd be the one vamping, and you literally everybody on set was frozen, and you're just like. Exactly. And then they're like, well, no, but you still have to have a look on your face that you're
You're
about to
acting.
do something crazy, and then it's fucking absurd.
I'd always do it, and always because I felt like I needed to vamp, I'd run, and they're like, no, we speed the camera up. You just walk normally, just do it normally.
It was so.
Yeah, but I'd be running. Yeah, they're like, stop running. Yeah, it looks stupid. I would do compulsion. I would want to, vamping school. But if I'd definitely take that away. Look out.
I don't know, what else have we got? What other ones are there?
No, a certain amount of invincibility, but not full invincibility.
I mean, I feel like the witches could just do anything.
Yeah, I think anything.
Yeah, teleport.
The teleporting, but we weren't teleporting. It was holograms.
Oh, yeah.
It was you just
FaceTime
appear there. So
over.
it's you couldn't tell it. If it was teleportation, that would be great, but it wouldn't. If I could teleport to New York and go to dinner at Carbone tonight, great. But I don't want a hologram there and not be able to eat my rigatoni.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah, right here down the middle.
Hi, my name is Cassie. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. My question is to Rebecca and Oliver. I'm just wondering, because obviously you've filmed in Australia and filmed in the US, which one is easier and which one do you prefer?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Did you fly here for this?
Yeah.
You're a beast. I love you.
How's the jet lag?
Yeah.
How's the jet lag?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I've had a lot of transits in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
When did you get in?
I got in on Monday, so I had to fly from Melbourne to Sydney to San Francisco to Atlanta.
Heavens, good for you, girl. That's commitment,
Props.
everyone.
Good
That's a
effort.
fan.
Good
That's
effort.
a fan.
We're so
Woo,
happy
good
you're
job,
here.
baby. Okay, so wait, the question was what is the difference between shooting between Australia and the States?
Yeah, what's the
easier?
difference and which do you prefer?
Ooh, Ollie, go.
Yeah, I think I don't know that there is a huge difference. I feel like feel like, what do I prefer? I think it's actually a little more streamlined shooting here. I think shooting back home can be a little bit shambolic on occasion. So I think generally the writing and everything's a little bit more organised. But yeah, home's easy because you're closer to family and friends. So it's a little bit of both, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the culture on set back home is a bit more like jovial. Like everyone's kind of joking and faffing about, but you still get the job done. I think here in the States it's a lot more like, we got to get this, and also the hours. I mean, here we can do 15 to 17 hour days, but back home they cut you off at like 10, right? Yeah, so like that.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. You work. It's kind of like England.
Yeah, moving to Australia.
It's so amazing, and you get like a normal. You work normal hours and have a day, but you're still shooting. You can still do night shoots and stuff. But here you're like, after 17 hours, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if what's real anymore. Am I Rebecca? Am I Aurora? I don't know. You can honestly live longer. It's your character. Like you live more life in character than you do in your own life sometimes. So that's pretty interesting. But I mean, they're both amazing. To work is amazing. We love what we do, right? So
Yeah.
I could be in Antarctica. I'd love it.
That's why, like, I feel like we also get so close on set. So you're together more. We were together more together. Okay, I can't speak. We were together
I'll finish your
more.
sentence. We spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, like more than with anyone else.
families,
in our lives.
anyone. Yeah, you do.
Or alone. Yeah.
We have time for one more question. Make it a good one.
Hi,
No, I'm kidding. No
I'm
pressure.
Mika from Covington.
Hi.
My question's for everyone. If there was something you got to take from set, what was it?
Literally this jacket that I'm wearing right now. Like, actually, yeah.
We were just teasing him about how he's like so stylish now, and he's wearing Josh's jacket.
We realized on the way over here, we were like, oh yeah, at the end of the show, the costume designers were like, okay, we're gonna like close our eyes for 60 seconds while you go through like your clothing racks and like take like one or two things, whatever. And we had like duffel bags and we're like stuffing shit into
What
them.
actually happened was it was the wrap party, and our costume designer had a couple drinks, and she was like, "You guys can go. We have like doubles of some of these
Yeah.
stuff because there's like we have to have double costumes because we have blood on them, whatever." She's like, "Yeah, just come by." And then we started showing up, and she was worried.
Oh yeah,
We
she definitely,
did. I
she definitely
took-
got in trouble for that.
I took like 40 leather jackets.
No, she didn't. I hired her right
still
after.
have them. I still have them. No, yeah, but I think she was kind of like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine, And then when we showed up, she was like, I don't think so, and we just.
I also still have my vampire fangs as well. They're like in a plastic cup.
Yeah, well, nobody else
somewhere.
can use those. They're like formed to your.
They're also pretty gross. I'm like,
Yeah,
I found them in a box at some point, and I was like, why do I have these? This is disgusting.
You should put them in something cool,
Like my mouth.
No, like a
multimedia like.
I was kind of thinking
like
that just
like a Damien Hirst
floating in it, and it
piece.
represents your.
I was thinking like next time I'm out at a bar, I would just like pop them in.
It
and
would
see
work.
See what kind of response I get.
Please update us on how that goes.
Yeah.
Danielle, did you take anything from set?
You know, I don't remember if I did take anything. Right now I'm spacing, but I know I keep thinking about Davina's paintings or her scribbles. And I'm like, that would be a really interesting thing to now frame and just be like, what is
cool.
that? Yeah, that would have been cool.
I wonder if they still have those somewhere.
So our first AD, Franklin, he worked on Gotham Knights, which also filmed in the same studio in Conyers as Legacies, which also filmed in the same studio in Conyers as the originals. And they were shutting down Gotham Knights, like packing stuff up at the end of the season. And he was like, hey, we're doing like a full clean out of the original stuff. Is there anything you want? He called me this summer or this spring. And I got the painting that Klaus made for Hope with the moon.
Oh.
Yeah. And a couple of daylight rings, but not any like specific daylight rings, just like random daywalker.
Damn, what happened to all the rest of it?
Can I tell a funny story? I actually, on Legacies, I worked with Jenny Boyd, love of my life, and she said that she did the same thing. She walked around the end of the originals and she found this painting, and she's like, oh, what a beautiful painting, this girl in a field, this like redhead girl in a field, and she had it above her bed. for like 2 years. And then
I know exactly what painting that is.
and then I came into Legacies and she looked at me and she went, holy crap, you've been above my bed for like 3 years. And so it was Aurora in the Field that Klaus painted, and so we were basically destined to be together.
That is so funny.
Her and I, yeah. I know, that was so cute. I think it's still above her bed. Or at least I hope it is. Yeah, I stole a bunch of Aurora's shoes. They're awesome. She's always got some sick stilettos on. And I wish I took her wig. That wig was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know better when I was on the originals that like you don't think you can steal stuff, but like you can steal stuff. So on my next show, I was taking everything home. But now I know. Now I would go back and be like, okay, this is what.
Yeah, that's what I would do differently. I would have grabbed more stuff. I do still have though, like I want to say like 10 of Freya's jackets.
As you should. Riley also would like she had all these like cool hair extensions and stuff, and she'd just like run off to the bar after set, like bye.
Yeah,
still
taking
wearing
these with me as well. Thank you very much. I would do that.
Okay, we have to wrap it up, guys. This was a blast. What a lovely. Really,
guys.
I will like sit here and shoot the shit with these people for hours, but we gotta go. Thank you guys so much. You've been great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone for coming.
Everyone.
Thanks for being here.